What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So by the title, you already know what today's topic of discussion is. And that's when my maintenance man stole some items from my apartment. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna give you guys a kind of a backstory. I was introduced to these apartments by an ex-boyfriend. You know, we first moved in together, so it's just like, oh my God, you know, first time living with a guy, and it was very rocky from the start by moving in, because it's like when you move with somebody, you take on their quirky little habits and trying to coexist in this world, you know, living under one roof. So it was kind of rocky from the start. We end up kind of like breaking up a little bit. I end up moving down the road, owned by the same people. Same people own the apartments where I previously stayed. They had some more buildings. So I went to move into those buildings. And this time around, my name was on the lease. His name wasn't. He wasn't coming with me. That was the plan. Like, okay, well, you go figure your little situation out. Like, you're not coming with me. But he ended up down the line coming with me or whatever. You know, just being young and in love, or thought you were in love. Eventually, that didn't work out. So we ended up breaking up, and it was just me, which I was fine with. Like, I mean, hey, more space. I ain't got to be worried about nobody picking up your dirty clothes. Get your shoes, make sure you clean the dishes, like stuff like that. I didn't have to have those conversations. So it was just pretty cool. One day, the furnace was kind of like going off and on. It was like kind of shaky like. So I would have to go down there and like light it. I think it might have like a short fuse and it was like on its way out. Like I don't know. But all I knew was just I had to sometimes go down and light the furnace because obviously couldn't get no hot water, you know. Can't bathe in cold water. I know I don't, but can't bathe in cold water. So I went to complain to managers and stuff like that. So they were like, okay, we're gonna take care of it. We're gonna take care of it. I was like, okay. I'm not like a technician or know how to do this type of stuff. I think I might have Googled it or looked on YouTube. So that's how I was getting by. I wasn't the type of tenant that, oh, you can't go in my apartment when I'm not there. I was never really that type of tenant because we had this maintenance guy that when I first moved into the apartments, because by then, this was probably maybe my third year when this happened to me, but the first maybe year or two I moved in, we had a maintenance guy. I forgot his name. God bless him. He was a pretty cool guy. Like, I trusted him. You know, I could have $1 million laying on the table. That's how much, you know, I trusted him because there were valuable things of value in the house, you know, that he never touched. So I didn't have a problem with him going in. He used to have to come in to fix my AC and like do all that stuff. And, you know, always spoke, was always pleasant. You know, had like that Southern hospitality. I think he might was from the South because he had gold. So shout out to the South. I probably was lighting this furnace probably maybe a month or two. Like, it seemed like years, but it was probably like a month or two that I have to go down there and light it. I think I even called my uncle to come look at it, and he had told me, like, you know, it's gonna take more than just me kind of lighting it. Like, they're gonna have to maybe come and put a new furnace in. I think I made that last call. I'm like, hey, can y'all send somebody over here to fix this furnace, or y'all not gonna get all of the rent? Like, you're not servicing me like I've been a good tenant up until this point. I deserve to be treated as such. So they end up sending somebody over. And I'm gonna stop right there because it went through maybe 3 managers. The first manager was a sweetheart. Like, oh, she was so sweet. Older lady, beautiful lady. And I think the second one, it happened with the second one. It happened with the second manager. So she sent somebody over. And when she came, I don't know if they got like a whole new team with them. They bought a whole new team. All right, guys, so it was a brand new team. I didn't really know like the maintenance guy that was assigned to my apartment. So I'm like, okay, I might have seen him maybe a couple of times, but never had any like ordeals or, you know, back and forth with him. Like, I didn't know him like that. So I think they called me while I was at work and said, you know, someone's coming in to fix the hot water tank. Fine. So I get home Proceed to go in my room, and the first red flag is that my watch box, where my watches go, was sitting on my nightstand, which is a red flag because if you know me, I'm very strategic. Like, I'm very strategic. Monday through Friday, there's no need for watches and jewelry and earrings and doing all that because it's a work. You know, it's strictly work Monday through Friday. Saturday, you know, that's when you pull your good stuff out. You know, if you're going out and, you know, a night on a town, maybe going on a date and stuff. So that's how I knew, like, okay, this is left field because this box is sitting right here. So I proceeded to go over to my jewelry box, and my watch, it was still there. So I'm like, okay. Then I opened my drawer, and I would normally have my Gucci belts. I had 2 Gucci belts. I had a pair of Cartier glasses, and I had maybe 3 pair of diamond earrings in my nightstand. The Gucci belts was missing. Maybe a pair of earrings and a Cartier glasses was missing. So I instantly seen, I'm telling y'all, I was almost hyperventilating. Like, I was so hurt. Like, what the? I'm like, hold on now. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe I did misplace them. Like, no, I didn't. Like, I'm very strategic on what how I, do things. I'm like, no. You know how you try to reason with yourself, trying to make sense of it. So I'm like, So I went to my car and see, did I leave my glasses? That's what I was most concerned about, was my glasses, because I just got them maybe 2 months ago, and they were custom-made glasses. So I'm like, okay, well, hopefully the glasses are in my glove compartment, because sometimes I would leave them there, So I opened the glove compartment, they're not there. So I ran back in the apartment and just pacing, looking like, oh my God, somebody came here and stole my stuff. So I instantly ran over to the manager's apartments that was located across the street, and I began to just go ballistic on them. Like, so whoever you had in there went in there and stole my stuff. So she like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm positive. I'm like, bring whoever it was that you assigned to go in there. Bring that man to me because he got some explaining to do. So she went and called for the guy, I guess on a walkie-talkie or something. So he came over, and I began to go off on him. And normally I'm a calm person. Like, too much don't get to me, but that got to me. So I'm like, why did you come in here and touch my stuff? And I'm just going and going and going and going. And he looking at me calm, like, ma'am, I did not take none of your stuff. I said, you a bald-faced lie. Like, who else took it? So we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like, I'm making a police report, like, just doing the most right now. So I went back into the apartment, and I'm just trying to calm myself down. I'm in tears. Like, I just felt violated. I felt that you crossed that line. Like, first of all, you're in my house, and secondly, you go in my room, and then thirdly, you going through my stuff. Like, what else you done been in here rambling and, messing with? Call the police. They end up not coming. And the crazy thing about it, y'all, they was right up the street. But I end up talking to somebody and making a police report, file a police report. Like I said, I didn't know what to do at this point because I'd never been in this position. Like, what the heck, So I called my mama, called my friends, and just letting them know what happened. Like, I really felt violated. I don't even think I went to work the next day. Because my mind was still just going from, what happened previously. Maybe like a day or two later, the manager asked, could I bring receipts? So I said, of course, I keep receipts. That's nothing. So I end up bringing receipts. So she's looking at it like, oh, this was some pretty expensive stuff. So it's like, whether it was inexpensive or very expensive, he stole it. And I think she knew, and I think she felt guilty because it's like, you hire him. And I don't mean to just rag on how people look, but from the looks of it, it's just like these people are not even professional. It's like you found these people out off the street somewhere, ain't got no type of credentials or nothing, like no certificates to show that, nothing. Like, you just found somebody and just gave them a job. And it's like, no, you ain't did no background checks. You ain't did none of that. So in a way, I know she truly felt responsible. Very responsible. So I ended up giving them the receipts, and she came up with it like, okay, well, what I'm gonna do is, she calculated how much my stuff added up to and equivalated with, I guess, the amount of rent. So she just, I guess, did some numbers and said, okay, well, you don't have to pay rent for the next 5 months. Like, that's how much the stuff came up to. After that, guys, I did not feel comfortable there. Like, I did not feel comfortable. My sister, she ended up giving me like a little small gun. I don't know what it's called. Maybe it's a Dillinger. It was like a 2-barrel gun. Like, I slept with it under my pillow. Like, I just felt violated. Like, any creaks in the floors, like any noises, like random noises, is just had me on edge. So it's like, I cannot live like this. And the most insane part about it all, guys, what really still blew me to this day, is that he never fixed the furnace. He never fixed the furnace. The apartments made me sign a waiver stating that, okay, I guess this could never be brought up in court and all this type of stuff. And I guess they didn't want to, I guess, alert the neighbors. But, you know, I'm like looking out for people, like, you know, watch out. But he ended up being terminated, which was not enough for me. Like, you should be in jail. Like, you committed a crime. Guys, I never looked at the apartments the same. It just disgusted me, the workers, everybody. Even though they didn't have nothing to do with it at the time, I was very just like, this could not be happening. Like, to me, like, I was one of their best tenants, paid rent on time. You never had no problems out of me. I never had, you know, people all like, I, you know, never was that type of a tenant. Always respectful. But it's like y'all couldn't even protect, you know, couldn't even protect me. The guy, he was never, I guess, prosecuted because the police never came. I guess the report never went nowhere. I just left it in God's hands. A little bit after that, maybe a couple months after, I seen him walking up the street, the maintenance guy. And God bless him. He didn't look too well. So it's just like, you know, what goes around comes around. Like, I never want to beat nobody when they down or nothing, but, you know, you put that type of energy out there, you're going to get it back. So, God bless them. Guys, that was my apartment trauma that I had to go through when I was living in apartments. And even after that, I still was not comfortable. I still was not comfortable living in apartments. Even after I moved, because I moved from my old apartments to some more apartments, like maybe 30, 40 minutes outside the city. Still wasn't, you know, all the way okay about it, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave me a big fat like thumbs up, and also share some situations that might have happened with you in your apartments. If you knew somebody that it happened to, leave down in the comments below what happened and what did y'all do about it. See you guys in the next video. Bye.